Yes, so Jane Hadrill, I'm in the Canberra Ban Tax office, and I've got many small business who are really suffering through this time at the moment. And the stimulus package, which has been offered by the government, has been gratefully received, and it's been really helpful to be able to talk to the other Ban Tax officers to find out the ins and outs and the pitfalls of them. So I wanted to start though by talking about the ACT Economic Survival Package, as they're calling it. And first of all, they're offering various industries, such as food businesses and beauty therapists, their registration can be waived for 12 months. So that's, a good start, and fair enough too. If you're a tattooist and you can't open your tattoo parlour, why should you pay the registration fees? Payroll tax is going to be waived for 6 months for businesses directly affected by COVID, such as gyms, beauty therapists and nail salons. So I think that's a pretty big gesture. And then payroll tax liabilities for other businesses will be deferred until the 1st of July 2022 and no interest paid. No interest will accrue. So two good offers, I think. Small businesses with electricity usage less than 100 megawatts per annum will get a $750 rebate applied to their next electricity bill. And the first I knew about that was when a client rang me and said, hey, I got a lower electricity bill. And I'm like, oh, I need to find out about that really, don't I? And then the last one is for commercial landlords, their rates will reduce by $2,622 in the fourth quarter. So I think I'm certainly saying to my clients who have got commercial leases, they should be saying, hey, I'm sure you can do a bit better than reduce my rent a bit more, because we know that you're getting the 2,622 off your next bill. So that's what ACT is offering. In terms of this cash flow assistance for businesses, I think personally it's one of the cleanest way that the government is offering relief to small business, because it's not able to be disputed and there's no decision to be made, unlike the JobKeeper payment that Shelley talked about, where you have to decide whether you do want to keep someone on or pay them JobKeeper or what. Everyone gets this if they employ staff. So if you are a small or medium-sized business and a not-for-profit entity, and you have turnover of less than $50 million, that's certainly all of my clients, probably all of my clients combined, I have to say, and they employ people, they'll be eligible to receive a total payment of up to $100,000 between now and October. And this is based on their pay-as-you-go withholding obligations. So the stage 1 credit happens prior to 30 June 2020. So when the March BAS is lodged, so by end of April, eligible employers that withhold pay-as-you-go withholding will receive a tax-free payment equal to 100% of the amount withheld, up to a maximum of $50,000. So you lodge your March BAS, you're recording wages and pay-as-you-go withholding for January, February, March. You've got $20,000 in pay-as-you-go withholding payable, and hey presto, you don't have to pay that $20,000. Now, if your GST for that quarter was $15,000, you would actually get a refund of $5,000. So this is really practical help that the government is offering. If you're a monthly lodger, it's a little more complex. Because you've already lodged your January, February instalment, what they're saying is that when you lodge your March instalment, they're going to multiply it by 3 and say that's what would have been for your 3 quarters. So if you lodge on the March BAS $15,000, they're going to assume that it would have been 15 for January, 15 for February. So they're going to give you a credit of $45,000. So this is going to be a really good cash flow boost, particularly if you're only paying GST on a quarterly basis. It's really going to help you out. So it should be noted that even if you don't pay any pay-as-you-go withholding tax, As long as on that March BAS you have a figure at W1 that you've paid wages, you will get a minimum $10,000. Now, if you don't pay GST, you'll get the full $10,000 as a refund into your bank account. This is really going to help people along the way. So that's what's going to happen up until June 2020. You can't exceed the $50,000 credit. And if you're paying no pay-as-you-go withholding, you can't exceed the $10,000. But stage 2 is actually much simpler. So as soon as you lodge your June BAS, you're going to get 50% of what you received in the first half of the year. So if you withheld $50,000 and then you got a $50,000 credit, in July, assuming your ABN is active, we're not even certain that you have to continue to be employing people, but I wouldn't be deregistering from pay-as-you-go withholding if I were you, then what we're hearing is that you'll get a $25,000 credit from that BAS, even though it has no relation to what you've actually included in that BAS as W2 pay-as-you-go withholding. If you got the minimum $10,000, you will get $5,000 in July. The next payment will come in October after you lodge your September payment. 50%, if you got $50,000 in the first half of the year, you'll get $25,000 in October. And if you got $10,000 in the first half of the year, you'll get $5,000. So it really is an opportunity that the government's giving business to really help them out. And it should be noted that there's no expectation that this money will be used for wages. It is that stimulus package to put it back into the business, and you use it for what you need to use it for to keep your business going and to survive.